friends. This is Dr. John World Peace, JD. It's August the 12th, about 2:45 in the afternoon Mountain Time. I want to talk today about the Second Amendment, and I'm totally 100% against gun control. And Senator Warren has a plan for every government program, and they're all half-baked ideas, patty cake, half-baked ideas. Major legislation takes a lot of compromise, and even after it's put into effect, it takes continuous monitoring, tweeting, tweaking, until it's something that's functional and is accomplishing what was intended. You can't say, oh, well, here are the solutions, because no matter what you suggest, there's going to be people against it. The Second Amendment is untouchable to me. There's no way that anyone's going to root out these insane people who carry out mass murder. You can't stop them. There are 10,000 people a year killed in America by drunk drivers. That number puts the mass murder number in perspective. Every death is a tragedy. Every accidental or intentional death is a tragedy. People dying of health issues is a sad thing. I would make murder by automobile with an intoxicated driver behind the wheel a capital offense. Yeah, death penalty. That'll get these drunks off the road. You can't let a drunk just kill people because they need or like to be drunk and go on down the road. 10,000 a year. But we're upset because a very, very minuscule number of insane people do mass murder. But I don't know if any of us living in a big city going home in the evening are not going to pass some drunk that's behind the wheel. But we don't put a whole lot of emphasis on getting the drunk drivers off the road, which is not that hard to do. But stopping a mass murder, that is hard to do. With regards to gun control, after seeing Donald Trump elected president, I have significant concerns about an attempted coup in America. The chances of a coup are greatly reduced when every citizen has a gun and bullets to go into it. I believe in mandatory registration of all guns on the first retail sale. After that, no registration. I've seen nothing to indicate that any gun legislation can prevent any American from buying an assault weapon. What is interesting to me is that I'm not aware of any fully automatic assault rifles being used in mass murder. Maybe I just missed that in the detail of the event. That means the insane people who commit mass murder are not really serious about killing the max number of people possible. A mass murderer with 4 automatic pistols with large magazines can kill about 70 people at a super crowded event and probably injure another 150. The chances of access to such an event is much greater with a pistol than can be concealed as opposed to an assault rifle. I want to know what can be done about someone like Timothy McVeigh, who killed 250 people in Oklahoma with a car bomb made from fertilizer. Nothing you can do about that. The majority of recent mass murders have been motivated by white racist language out of the mouth of the President of the United States, Donald Trump. The red MAGA campaign hat he sells represents the blood of all the people who have died from mass murders since he came into office. If you want to cut down on mass murders, start with voting Trump out of office on November 3rd next year. That's going to be the biggest reduction in these kind of events. I know of no mass murderer who has not been caught and jailed or killed on the scene of the crime. Most of these insane people expect to be killed. When somebody expects to be killed in a mass murder attempt, there's no way you're going to stop him or her. It's not going to happen. And if he kills one person, it's too many. Gun control is not going to stop insane mass murders. It's a knee-jerk political reaction, a feel-good thing that does nothing. The purpose of the Second Amendment was to stop the change of control of the government to a dictatorship. There are other issues with the NRA. I'm not speaking to those issues. Many of those other issues are the same issues that relate to corporate greed in many corporations in America. America is a violent society. There's an addiction to bloody computer games with bloody movies. I suppose that since America loves war on foreign lands, we need to get our youth ready to go into the military and kill innocent people around the world. In America, murder by automobile by drunk drivers is accepted at about 10,000 people a year. We need to put energy into stopping those murderous crimes. The grief felt by family and friends of 10,000 murdered people is far greater than the deaths of 500. Every death is extremely painful, make no mistake. But looking simply at the numbers, the families of 10,000 people going through pain and suffering of a dead friend or relative is going to be a lot greater than that of 500. We need to do what we can to stop mass murders, but locking up the guns is not the answer. You can't stop Americans from doing mass murder. You can't stop drunk drivers from driving. We have the Second Amendment to protect our political freedom. The collateral damage is insane people committing mass murder. If Elizabeth Warren wants to do something about mass murder, let her try to repeal the Second Amendment. Of course, that's not going to happen. On this issue, go back to sleep, Elizabeth, and all the other Democrats that are going to go out and put the whole political system in jeopardy when another fool like Donald Trump is elected to try to stop one or two crazy people with a gun, automobile, load of fertilizer, whatever. There's 300 some odd million Americans. You're going to have a few nutcases in there. But when you have a president egging them on, pushing their buttons, that's where the problem is. Let's get rid of Donald Trump, and let's register the newly sold guns, and let's work on ending the drunk driving problem. This is Dr. John World Peace, August the 12th, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, Mountain Time. Have a good day. Thank you for your consideration.